can book the flight tickets to travel across the world. For example, let's consider a person is booking a flight from London to Paris. So once the flight confirmation is done, so that person definitely look for the other services like to stay in a hotel. So currently the British Airways site is only providing a service to book the flight ticket. So now what the British Airways will do, like they will come with a plan to add the hotel services in the site. So now they will reach out to hotels.com site to avail their services. But the problem here is like the British Airways site is developed in Java, whereas the hotel.com site is developed in .NET. So they cannot integrate. So to resolve this problem, web services will play a major role here. So the developer will develop a API or the web services in such a way that will integrate with the British Airways site. And once the user hit the destination, he will able to see all the recommendation hotel on the site. So this is how the web services works. So let's say like there are two types of web services. So first one is the SOAP, stand for Simple Object Access Protocol, and other one is the REST, stand for Representational State Transfer. So now we'll look the SOAP in details how it works within demo. The SOAP. So SOAP is a protocol for exchanging structured information in the implementation of web services. So it is the standardized format for sending and receiving messages between the network application over the protocol. So message can be transported using various protocols, such as HTTP, stand for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or the SMPT, that is the Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. And for SOAP, it uses the HTTP protocol over the web. And SOAP support various encryption, that is SSL for encryptions and authentications. Now we'll see an example in the diagram like the SOAP sender and the receiver. So SOAP sender sends a message using the HTTP request, and the SOAP receiver sends a response back using the HTTP request. And the SOAP web services always uses the XML format. So now we'll see like how the SOAP message structure looks like. So in this in the diagram, you can see there is SOAP message structure. We start with the SOAP envelope, SOAP header, and the SOAP body. So we now see a structure in example. So this is the code, XML code. So it's starting with the tag called envelope. So it's nothing but it's the start and the end of the SOAP message. Whereas the header consists of the credential information stored, such as authorization, authentications, and the body consists the main element of the SOAP message, where it consists of sending the request and response in the XML format. Now we'll see a demo on how the SOAP web services works. So before starting with the demo, we need to know what is the WSDL file. So WSDL file for web services description language. So it is for describing the functionality using the web service. Okay. Now we'll see a demo on how the web services works. So this is the WSDL file which client shared with us to perform some operations. So I have some example of the WSDL file. So this is how the WSDL file looks. So I just copy, I'll open the SoapUI tool. So this is how the SoapUI interface looks like. Okay, so I'll create a project first. So I need to go to the new and I need to create a SOAP project. So I'll just give us some name here. So it's just and I'll paste this WSDL file here. And to click on OK, then it will initialize and will give the result here. So in this WSDL file, we need to perform 3 operations. So you can see here, there are the 3 operations, that is add employee, delete employee, and get employee details. Now we'll see how each operation works. First, I'll open the add employee. So this is the code for that add employee. So this is the endpoint. So currently there is no data, so I'll just enter some dummy data. So this data is I have entered manually. Now I'll just hit a request to this endpoint and we'll see what response will get. Okay. So here it's showing the HTTP status code is okay, and we'll see the XML response. It's showing here very true. So it means the data is stored in the database. Now we'll just see how whether the correct data is stored in the database. So for that, we need to go to the other operation, that is they get employee details. So I'll just open that operations and see. So I need to give the employee names. With the employee name, right, hit the request and we'll see the response. So this is what I have added the data for the employee. So it is getting fetched. It's working as expected. So that is the second operation, that is get employee. Now we'll see the delete operations. So I'll delete the employee details which are stored in database. And I hit the request, and here you can see nothing is showing, but in the format you can see it's showing accepted. Now, how we get to know whether the data which was stored in database got deleted or not? So for that, we need to go to the get employee details and hit the request again. So the employee name is Amit. We have deleted from the database. Now we'll see whether still the data is there or not. Okay, so for that, I'll hit the request, and here you can see the employee does not exist. It means it's successfully deleted from the database. So this is how the operations works in the project level in the SoapUI for web services. So this is not a correct way to perform the operation. So there is a standard way we need to follow for like for that we need to create a test suite. Inside the test suite, we need to create a test case and then we need to perform the operation. So now we'll look how we need to create how we will create a test suite first. So for that we need to go to the project, need to right click and to create a test suite. So I'll just give name as testing currently for the test suite. So the test suite is created. So this is the test suite name is created. So inside test suite, I need to create a test case. So just for that, I need to create a right click and create a test case. So I'll give its name as add operation. Add. So now the test case is created. So in that inside the test case, we need to add the operation, that is here the add operations. For that, click here, go to the test tab and click add step and the soap request. So you can give any name, you just give it add. Okay, so inside that I need to select the add employee. Please click on OK. So you can see the add operation is added in the test case. So simultaneously we need to add for the delete and get employee. So we'll add those here. So delete. Click here, go to the step, so request. Select or delete. So also the delete operations get added in the test case. So simultaneously I need to add for the get employee as well. So click here. So now we have added the operations in the test case level. So now you will be wondering like what is the difference to performing the operation in the project level and in the test case level. Okay, so I'll open first in the project level. So that is the add operations. And I'll open the test case level. So the major difference here is the plus sign. So the plus sign indicates the assertion, the validation which we can perform for each operation. So in the project level, we don't have any options to add the assertion, but in the test case level, we can add the assertion. So now we'll look how we can add the assertion. So these are the operations, sorry, assertion which you need to perform. So the first assertion is verify response returning value true. So I'll perform the assertion in the test case level. So I'll just add some data here. Say, request and we'll see what so we get. It's showing value true. It means the data is stored in the database. Now we'll add the assertion for that. So the assertion is verify response returning value true. So for that we need to go add here the plus sign and contain the operations. Click on OK and give the values. Click on OK. So currently, the contains operations get paused because it's showing the value true, and we already stored the data with the name of the route. Suppose if I if I hit the request again, then this assertion will get failed. We just see that. So you can see employee already exists, and it shows the content assertion got failed. Yes. So next assertion is verify response valid SOAP message. So basically this assertion consists of like the message which we have there in XML format. It should be proper, starting with the envelope, the head, ending with the envelope, then header, the starting with the body, and ending with the body. So for this assertion, we need to go to the add step here and response time. Click on OK. So this was already added, so this can't be added again because of some confusion. Let's see. Okay. Let's see the next assertion. So that is the verify response valid HTTP code. So for that, to go here. So this is the HTTP status code we need to perform. So I'll give just 200 milliseconds perform this operations. So I've just added that, and currently it's showing the value is 500 because the data is already stored and we have run this request again. So I'll just delete that first and we'll hit the request again. So give the name as the request. Yeah. Now we'll perform the operation again. We'll hit the request and you can see here the HTTP status code is showing 200 and the assertion got passed. So we'll see other assertion as well, the verify response time within the boundaries. So whenever we run the operation, so how much time it will take to run this operation. So that is the response time we'll see. So for that, we need to go the assertion, go to the SLA and the response time. So I'll just add currently here 200. So this the response time SLA is showing it's passing because whenever we run this request, it took only 61 milliseconds. So that's the reason got passed. So suppose if I given 50, and it will get filled. It's totally depend upon the client requirement, how they want. So I'll just edit it again to 200 and click on OK. So it got passed. So this is how we can perform the assertion using for the web services using the SoapUI tool. So these are the basic assertion we need to perform for each operation. So now we'll see how the properties in the SoapUI works. So there are the 4 properties. It is the test case level, test suite level, test case level, project level, and the property test case. So first we'll see test suite level. So this is the test suite which I have created. So I'll just click on here. Earlier, what we did, like we have just hard coded the value here in the in the code. Now we'll add the
We cannot hear. Yes, now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can hear, but I missed 30 seconds.
Okay. So just can you please confirm? Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay. Great. Okay. So we'll continue with that. So for creating the properties, for that we need to go to the testwood level here and we need to add the name, and I'll just edit the name here. So now we need to fetch this name in the code. So for that we need to use the generic keyword. For that I will go cancel the name. Need to just right click here to get data, and I created in the testwood level. So we need to fetch this the property, is the name. So if I run this, then we should get this value here, the name, okay, in the result. So for that, I'll just hit the request, the endpoint, and we'll see the response is showing status code 200 and showing the value 2. Now we'll see the response in the get function. So I'll open this, just add the name, click get data, and the test level, the property name. I'll hit the request and we'll see the name. So this is the name which I have added in the custom property. So that is fetching. So it's working as expected. Now we'll see the other properties, that is the test case level. So currently we have created so it can be used for all these three test cases. So if we're creating properties in the test case level, that can be used only for that test case. So we'll see that's how it works. So for that, we need to go to the add test case, right click, sorry, click here, go to the custom properties. So I'll add ID for that. So just click here, custom properties name. So the name is ID. Value is, let's say 800. I'll just remove the ID, fetch the data using the test case level, that is the property ID. I'll hit the add operations. So before that, I need to change because the data is already stored with the name of Raj. Okay, so I'll just change to 100 and I'll hit the request and we'll see what response we'll get. For that, we need to go to the get operations, hit the request, and you can see here the ID I have given name as 800. So it's now getting as expected. So this is how the test case level SoapUI property was. Now we'll see in the project level how it works. So for that, we need to go to the project. So that I given the name as tester. Go to the properties. Go to that. Go to the tester. Custom properties. Give the name as age. Name as testing. And before that, I need to change the name because the name already shown in the database. Hit the request again, and I will go to the get operations, hit the request again, and see. So you can see, yeah. So we did a mistake here. Didn't remove this page. Fetch the data first. Yeah. And that is related it was the project level. So this is the property. Now the get operation. So already I need to just change the name. So get function and the request again. So it's showing pass and the value which I have changed is Raj. Sorry, the age that is 30 is reflected here. So it is working as expected. Now we will see the last properties, that is the properties test case. So for that we need to go to the each add operations, and in that operations we need to perform the property test case. For that we need to click here, add step, and go to the properties. I'll give the name as properties only right now. And to add the last thing was the department. So I just the department. And now with the request, so before that I need to change the name. Person. I'll change the generic keyword. The properties. So department. So now I'll hit the request, showing the value true. I'll go to the get function and we'll see the response. So here you can see the department which I added as a challenge, it is reflecting. So it is working as expected. So this is how we can perform the operation using the SOAP UI web services. So yeah, so this is it for the demo. So if you have any questions or any feedback, please share.
What about some email validations and all if you have to do it, how to bring it?
There's some assertion which we can perform that is present, but that it is not used as of now. So there are some operations we need to use for this. This is a trial purpose. So we are using. So in that there is no options to select the validation for this email and all. So we need to purchase the regular basis.
Good one. So now this is just to create a test SOAP API tool, right?
Yeah.
And when you're executing, then do you make these APIs and these test scripts live somewhere on the server, or then you give this
No,
you
basically-
hand over to client? How do you?
Yeah, so basically client will share the VSTL file with all the database unstructured from their side. So we just need to upload that VSTL file, and in that there are the operations which we need to perform. So client will share all the details what we need to perform and what assertion they require for to perform those operations. So accordingly, we need to perform those operations and need to submit the report to the client.
Can you give me any examples of like where this is implemented?
So basically, it is implemented for the reservation side, mostly with the banking sector where we have a database. So in that, we need to fetch the customer accounts details when they have did a transaction and all some kind of details they need. So accordingly, we need to fetch the data when they did a transaction and all. So this kind of operation which we need to perform, like for banking sector, like other any other reservation site. And anyone has any other questions or any feedback?
Yeah, I do. So when you said that if we get the file in that structured format, so in that we get the assertion, so that assertions we need to add it or it's already added like it's selected. Name or this.
The name.
Yeah.
Yeah, the name we need to perform adding in the operation when we are performing the executing the details, like we're executing the code. So that time we need to perform. So client will share what the operation we need to perform, like for a specific person. So there all the details are stored in the database from their side. So basically what we need to do like the client will share all the details of that, and we need to add the assertion accordingly and we need to perform those. And when it gets filled, you need to submit the report to the this thing to the client. So those specific this thing are getting filled for the assertion. Another question, guys.
And does it support all languages or is it limited to, let's say, Java?
This is the web service which developer creates and it will directly integrated with the other languages as well. So basically it's a web service. So like we have the APIs are created